How often have you talked about killing someone?
Oh, Lord.
No, seriously.
This is 30-year-old Victoria Worth being questioned about her husband's death. Months earlier, she had begun planning her husband Shane's murder, determined to make it look like a... That was until Shane's final words turned the investigation upside down.
Shane, can you hear me?
I didn't do it.
Okay, everything will be all right.
Victoria believed she had orchestrated the perfect murder, securing her husband's house, car, and fortune. But eventually, her arrogance would not only seal her fate, but also bring down the people around her.
Some days I just wish he would get in an accident, die or something. There's a lot of things that could be done to make it look like there's...
This is the time to tell the truth.
I am. This wasn't planned. This wasn't supposed to happen.
At around 2:30 a.m. on September 26th, police in Minersville, Utah received a call from a resident who reported hearing a gunshot inside his garage. Corporal Cox quickly rushed to the scene, unaware that he was stepping into a carefully staged murder.
Hello! Beaver 6, go ahead and send medical in. We're in the garage. All right, man, I got some help coming for you. Got one maybe through and through braid.
Okay.
Through the chest, so we're gonna have to expedite some things here.
One through and through in the chest.
This is Shane Davis. He's still alive, but drifting in and out of consciousness. But before EMS could get him to the hospital, Shane managed to mumble something, a crucial detail that would become the first major clue in uncovering everything.
Looks like he's walked out to here. Just keep talking to us, Shane. You'll be good.
Shane? My name's Christine. I'm with the ambulance. If things go quiet, just keep going.
We're just gonna roll you back, Shane, okay?
Okay. He said he did not do it to himself.
With Shane insisting he didn't shoot himself, detectives began to consider that this was not a self-inflicted act, but attempted murder. The officer counted 6 people in the house. While they were still seen as witnesses, their strange behavior and absence of a gun would soon raise suspicion.
There's about 6 people in the house. You guys know Shane to own a pistol?
He does own a pistol.
Okay.
It's in my room with him. I'm married to him.
I don't see one out here anywhere, so I'm wondering where it's at. Nobody's seen a gun or anything like that. He's got a gunshot wound to his chest.
As Shane fights for his life on the way to the hospital, detectives turn their attention to his wife, Victoria Worth. What officers don't realize is that Victoria's mind is fixed on a dark thought. If Shane dies, she would inherit his house, car, and fortune. With this twisted fantasy in mind, Victoria would go on to unwittingly reveal just how much she despised Shane.
Is he gonna be okay?
I'll tell you later. That's all I can say. Was Shane arguing with anybody tonight?
Just a little bit with me over a stupid comment.
Yeah.
He's been drinking nonstop. He was driving. I told him to come home. He needed to stop it. That is a fight that has come out quite a bit between the two of us, is drunk driving because of his ticket last time, which scares me. I have a 2-year-old daughter in the home, and the only comment I had made that if he entered the home that I would protect at any cost necessary for my daughter's sake.
Sure.
Victoria claims that she and Shane got into a heated argument earlier that day. She also brings up his bad habit of drinking and driving, almost as if to shift blame, although no one has accused her of anything yet. But with 5 other friends still in the house, 5 more potential suspects entered the picture. But this is when Victoria starts throwing out even more bizarre theories, further deepening the officer's suspicion that this wasn't a self-inflicted death at all.
Guys, any reason for anybody to cause Shane any harm? Anybody that may be involved with this that we might want to look at?
I don't know. He's got his fair share of enemies. Some people have issues with him because of him getting physical with me a while back in the past. He had left. He was drunk. I told him bring his ass home because last time he went out drunk driving, he ended up in jail.
So, guys, did anybody see Shane with a gun? Did he make any comments about harming himself?
I don't know. He's been drinking, and when he gets drunk, he gets kind of dumb. When he gets to drinking, he doesn't always make the smartest decisions. He has been going through a lot lately.
Did anybody see Shane with the gun? Brandon, you discovered him?
I discovered him originally.
Notice how Victoria stays glued to her phone while answering the police, almost as if she's reading from a script. With each claim, she further damages Shane's reputation, portraying him as an abusive husband with many enemies. Corporal Cox is struck by the housemates' matching lack of reaction, completely unfazed by their friend being shot in the chest. But as the officers start analyzing the crime scene, they uncover a clue that turns the residents from witnesses into prime suspects.
There's blood all the way around to the corner. Yeah, look at this. Here. He's come out to this point. Or tried to enter to this point. I don't see anything past here, Kai.
What do they have to say? Anything? Did you talk to him?
Yeah, I talked to his wife. She says it was just him and her arguing. That he's been drinking all day.
A trail of blood led from the garage into the kitchen, suggesting Shane Davis was either moved after being shot or had tried to escape, casting serious doubt on Victoria's version of events. Detectives pressed on, unaware that everyone but them knew who had shot Shane and why the gun was still missing.
Well, I don't know how well you guys know him, but he scares the living hell out of me. Since I do have a 2-year-old in my home, I will do whatever it takes in my power to protect my daughter at any cost necessary.
Now, you said Shane did have a pistol, from what you told me earlier.
He has a pistol. It's in my room. I can actually show it to you.
Yeah, just take me where and I'll look at it if you don't mind.
Yeah, we do have... He has his own gun, and I have a rifle.
Okay.
So, they're both in here.
Is that the only 2 firearms in the house?
Yeah, his is right there.
Okay.
So that's his.
Set that right there.
And I have a rifle, which is...
Okay, you can leave it right there, that's fine. What caliber?
7mm 08.
Neither of these have been fired. And these are supposedly the only 2 in the home. Maybe we may have a shooter somewhere.
Cox examined the rounds in each gun and concluded that none had been fired. With this revelation, the detectives returned to question the residents, unaware that Victoria was about to accidentally reveal a crucial piece of information pointing directly to the shooter.
Well, do me a favor, guys. Just everybody hang tight right here. I'm going to come back and get a statement from everybody. And
well, I don't know where my other partner is. I have 2. I'm polyamorous. He's been gone for a while, though. Long beforehand.
Okay.
So he left earlier today and has been out and about for a while.
Okay. Yep, just hang tight right here, guys.
But just as the officers were about to leave, one of the residents revealed that Victoria's secret lover despised Shane and was seen leaving the house around the time of the shooting. He identified the man as Mike Miller, someone well known to police for his considerable criminal record. Finally, the police have a lead, marking the start of the hunt for their primary suspect. The officers were now on the lookout for Mike, a likely suspect in Shane's death, or at the very least, someone with answers. A few hours later, after searching the nearby area, one car's license plate matched 27-year-old Mike Miller. To their surprise, Mike was compliant when approached and even agreed to come to the station for questioning. But while the officers expected denials and deflection, he would tell police exactly what had gone down.
He proceeded to walk towards me and ended up going through the garage. I know she tried to keep him out of the house by keeping him pinned to the door. For a minute, she kind of kept him there, and then he got kind of pretty physical with her. He grabbed her wrist and he shoved her. And I told him, like, Shane, I will shoot you. You need to let her go. He wouldn't listen. I did what I did to protect him. I shot him.
Without any pushback from the detectives, Mike admitted point blank that he shot Shane. But there was a reason for his unusual honesty. He would soon claim it was all in self-defense.
She had me go tell him to shut the truck off, and I looked at him like, dude, I'm just telling you what I was told to tell you, because he does tend to at times get kind of physical when he's drinking. I wasn't going to just sit there and let him hurt the woman I love. I saw him as a threat to that household and to that child, and I did what I thought I had to do to protect them. I shot him. Pure self-defense and protection for that household.
Despite Mike's apparent honesty, the police know he isn't telling the whole story, although for now, they let him believe he's off the hook. But before the officers can apply pressure, Mike introduces a new name, someone supposedly even more dangerous than Shane.
Sean, who he was on the phone with, he had called her a bitch quite a few times. She had given the warning to Sean that if he came here, it wasn't going to end well. From what I understand, Sean is a very violent person. And Shane kind of said something to Sean, saying, he's like, you know what, Sean, go ahead and come down here. That then there posed a threat on the household, because Sean wasn't going to come down here and just talk everything out. He would be armed, and he was going to come down here for a fight.
According to Mike, Sean was a friend of Shane's who was moments away from arriving at the house, armed and ready for a fight. But since Mike had spent 5 hours on the run after the shooting, it's possible Victoria instructed him to tell the police this story and perhaps even to claim self-defense. However, Mike's self-defense argument was far weaker than he realized, and the detectives began pressing him on it.
Why did you immediately go to the gun rather than try to physically stop him? Because there's two of you and just one of him.
The light wasn't on, and like I said, it's really cluttered in that garage, so I would have ended up falling and stumbling.
Hindsight 2020, is there a way that you would have handled this differently?
Yes, if he hadn't been so stubborn.
Yeah, I mean, but rather with using the weapon.
And that's something I thought about throughout the night while I was driving, is that I probably could have handled that a lot differently, but like I said, he was already getting fairly aggressive with everyone else and pretty loud.
As the officer points out, with multiple men in the home, subduing Shane wasn't just possible, it was the right thing to do. By now, Mike and Victoria's relationship seemed increasingly strange, and the officer realized this was likely something they would want to push on. And he was right.
So has there been any jealousy squabbles between you and Shane? I mean, have you seen him with Victoria and became jealous?
We've had our moments where, he wasn't really given a choice. Everything had came out that me and Victoria were together and had been together for quite some time and whatnot. She basically told him she was staying with me, and that was that. He was going to have to deal with it or, end the relationship.
Just as the officer suspected, jealousy and rage explained Mike's actions far better than self-defense. With their primary suspect now in custody, devastating news arrived from the hospital. Shane had passed away. As Mike prepared to be charged with manslaughter, Victoria believed her brilliant plan had succeeded and that she had outsmarted the police. But little did she know, her arrogance would eventually catch up with her. It's now 1 month after Shane's death, and Victoria is still living in his house, driving his car, and carrying on as if nothing had happened. She frequently visits Mike in jail and writes Facebook posts about how much she misses Shane. It seems that fateful night was behind her, and Victoria was free to live her dream life. But that was until something completely unexpected happened. On November 7th, the detectives received an anonymous tip to check Victoria's Snapchat account. While they weren't expecting much, after all, their primary suspect was already in custody, the investigation was about to be turned upside down. Unbeknownst to the police, Victoria had been planning Shane's murder for months over Snapchat with Mike. While Mike may have pulled the trigger, the messages made it clear that Victoria was the mastermind. With this new evidence showing that Victoria had conspired with Mike and encouraged Shane's murder, the detectives were ready to bring her in. Although Victoria remained arrogant, still convinced her plan was flawless, the police now had enough proof to completely dismantle her.
So, were there ever times that you and Mike talked about Shane together and that you were both upset with him because of things he was doing?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Just the way that he was acting and his behaviors at hand, and that if it was going to continue on, that we're going to sit down and sit there and say no more alcohol allowed in the house at all.
Mike had multiple usernames on Snapchat. Do you remember Devil Daddy 13?
That might be one of his.
you ever remember having a conversation with Mike about Shane when he was using that Devil Daddy 13?
Not off the top of my head.
Victoria's voice goes quiet, the question likely sending her mind racing through every conversation she had with Mike. With Victoria scrambling to collect herself, the detectives were about to confront her with every incriminating message they had. But little did they know, Victoria's arrogance would persist, still believing she could walk free without facing the consequences.
So, I want to show you this, and maybe I can jog your memory too, I don't know. This is those snaps between Devil Daddy and Rebel Princess. Everything that I reached between you and Mike, you said some days I just wish you would get in an accident or something, so...
I didn't have to deal with this crap.
But let's just read through these, Victoria.
Okay.
So, cut your wrist to get caught.
It was supposed to say too much of a risk, your dumbass would get caught.
So then, Mike responds back to you. It can be done if done right, and it wouldn't be hard to do. And then you responded back to him saying,
yeah,
not without getting caught or guilty.
And that's where I'm sitting here trying to convince him, like, no, you're not doing this. One, you're going to get caught. Two, you're going to feel hella guilty about shit.
So then, again, Mike to you, getting caught wouldn't be an issue. Going doesn't carry guilt with me. The person has no hold on me. Mike reports back to you there's a lot of things that could be done to make it look like natural causes based off his depression and all that's going through his head. I've done it to my dad before, not enough to kill him, but enough to get a point across and make a difference. And to a point, and if he dies, he can't defend himself. We can all say he's been acting hella different. The right story by everyone can dismiss it all, and then you say, I'd rather it look an accident. It's the only way. I'm going to keep house. We are sitting here, and I only want one thing from you, and one thing only. I want the truth.
You didn't even expect us to have those.
Needless to say, Victoria indeed wasn't expecting this. Corporal Cox has just revealed a conversation from 2 weeks before Shane's murder in which Victoria explicitly expresses her wish for his death. Her intent is clear as day. I'd rather it look like an accident. It's the only way. Other messages, such as touch your wrist to get caught, reveal the meticulous planning that went into Shane's murder. Victoria is naive enough to try and explain the messages away, even claiming that she was actually trying to dissuade Mike from shooting Shane. But despite the overwhelming evidence, Victoria still had a plan to slip out of this predicament.
Victoria, I can tell things are weighing heavy on your mind.
There was a lot of abuse with me and Shane, but that doesn't mean that I ever wanted to lose him. Under no circumstances did we plan for this to happen. What went through Mike's head that night that it went all down, I don't know. Shane gets to drinking, he gets violent, and he gets terrifying. I know it's conversation, but at the tail end of that relationship with Shane, it did feel like I was trapped. That night it just went way too far.
Shane gets shot and he falls down. Who helps him? Anybody try to stop his bleeding?
No, I can't handle blood, and he wouldn't let me touch him anyways. All he did was grunt and make weird noises.
You can't explain that, Victoria. This is the time to tell the truth.
I am. This wasn't planned. This wasn't supposed to happen.
Except you're talking about murdering your husband with your lover. We're making this right for Shane. Shane's the victim here.
And I understand that, but I didn't plan my husband's murder.
How often have you talked about killing someone?
Oh, Lord.
No, seriously. How often have you had these conversations with people?
You're telling me that you're a perfect person and you've never done a single wrong thing in your life?
No.
I have
Or made a wrong
never talked about murdering someone.
Okay, but you've never sat there and made a wrong retort.
Remember what I told you Shane was dead that morning?
Yeah.
You remember what you said back to me?
No.
And you actually said to me you were worried about losing your house. Your husband just died. I told you that. Do you think those things planted the seed in Mike?
And it might have. So planting the seed in there, possibly. I very well might have without even intending to do so. 90% of that, yes, was smart out remarks. Can I please go some?
I'll tell you this right now, absolutely no. What I have for you is an arrest warrant signed by the 5th District Court Judge.
Seriously?
Seriously. You are being placed under arrest right now.
I did not kill my husband, and that will come up, and I will sit there and make sure of it. You guys are making a huge mistake.
Victoria finally admits to planting the idea of murdering Shane in Mike's head. Unbeknownst to her, Corporal Cox has masterfully coaxed her into confessing and sealing the fate of her secret lover. Months after the murder, Victoria was finally arrested and escorted to Beaver County Jail, the same facility where her lover was being held. Mike Miller pled down from murder to manslaughter and received a sentence of 8 years to life. Victoria Worth was convicted of criminal solicitation and conspiracy to commit aggravated murder and sentenced to 3 years to life in prison.